humans, we move through life with a series of boxes, from birth to our final days. Rich or poor, big or small, honest or corrupt, patient or intolerant, religious or atheist, but we all live in the box. You can be rich, you can be poor, but we all live in a box. We can be honest. Paradox of a box. Paradox of a box. Please help me welcome Brian Swanson. Was I not supposed to read that part? Okay, well we can all be honest. Brian.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
Good evening.
Good evening. My fellow good men, it's great to see you again.
Thanks, folks. I mean, likewise.
I'll just act as though I understood. As we fall from grace and we enter the world, our world begins in a box. And they call this box a hospital. And inside this hospital, there's lots of little boxes. There's small boxes, there's bigger boxes. Larger cafeteria type room boxes, conference room boxes. And then we go home from the hospital and we move into yet another box. And this box is our house. And we have rooms in this box as well. We have bathrooms, we have closets, we have living rooms, and we might even have our own bedroom. The box is there. And then, once we're old enough, and we got our little britches on, and we're ready to go to school, elementary school, we go to yet another box. Now this is a good sized box from the house. It's definitely grown in scale, and we think it's magnificent. Wow, this is an excellent box. This is really big, and there's lots of little tiny boxes in it too. And then we stroll on down to middle school, and it's bigger. And there's more boxes. And then we go on to high school, and there's more boxes. And there's so many boxes at this place, they put boxes outside of boxes. And they're called portables, because they didn't structure it correctly. Even though I don't really believe that they're portable once they're fixed. But I digress. From high school, we go to college. And the architecture of the building that houses the box changes dramatically. It's wonderful, it's beautiful. I can't believe it. Even the little paths leading up to it are awesome. It's manicured so well and so nice, and sometimes there's flowers. It could be a palm tree, it could be something lovely. And then you get inside, and it's a box. And there's more boxes on top of more boxes. And then from there, we graduate from college, and we move into the workforce, into a mighty big box, an industrial box. And we get inserted into what we call a pod. A pod that has 4 or 5 pieces, depending on where you got your office furniture. And it's not even a full box. Now I'm feeling like I've lost something here. Could be, I don't know, maybe they're playing games. Back in corporate, they're like, we'll give them a tiny box. It'll actually be half of a box. We'll be able to see over it. There won't be any window views. And this will make them feel a little bit less, and we'll have more control. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, scribble, dot, 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 dot. And then you think to yourself, after you get out of the pod, you're like looking over, and you're thinking, that office over there in the corner, that one's mine. That's a bigger box. That's the kind of box I belong in. Where else should I go from here but yet to another box? And you work hard and you work diligently. And finally, you make it to the other box. And you got yourself a corner office. And you can see outside the awesome architecture once again. And life is beautiful. And now that you're making the money, the bank man comes knocking. And he tells you, you are so fortunate. You have enough money in the bank to be able to buy your very own box. They just called it a house, and you thought, all right, I can't wait to have my very own box. This is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna have my own little living room box, and then I'm gonna have my own little bedroom, another box. I'll have a kitchen that might have some angles in it, but pretty much a nice box. And then I'll be able to decorate my box and put pictures and put little draperies and maybe some plants inside my box. My box is going to be so wonderful. I love this box. And then as we move on through life and our children leave, we have to downsize, and then we move into a smaller box. And we have to get rid of some of that stuff. And then from there, the odd thing that happens is from the smaller box, we have to move to the assisted living box. We didn't know this box existed. They didn't tell us that when we fell from grace into the hospital. You're going to be coming back to this place. And then our story goes for the ever so small box. The smallest box mankind has ever made. And it's a little eerie. It's called a coffin. And this is satirical. So please, laugh at will. Let me pull the laughs from you like a rope, like a tug of war. But it's funny because we really do start our lives in a box. And then from there we move through a succession of boxes. From our school years on to our work years, and then from our work years into a house, and then into a smaller box that just gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And then we're confined to a small space in the ground for the remainder of our years. And this is just an interesting thing. And lately I've been thinking a lot about stuff and boxes of stuff and storage containers of stuff and my house full of stuff and all kinds of different things that have to deal with stuff and boxes. And it just came to me the other week while I was giving a speech on stuff that my whole life is encapsulated in boxes. Ms. Toastmasters.